What is going on, YouTube? So recently I've been watching One Piece, and let me tell you, this is probably one of the greatest pieces of fiction of all time. You know, from the motivational stand and just the way it gives off a message is just unbelievable, and it's probably unmatched in its time right now. But with a series comes its characters, and these characters that I'll be ranking on this tier list today from S to D, with also a special edition of honorable mentions. These are my, I don't know, top characters, but these are like kind of like the mainstream characters that would be recognized on a tier list for me. So without further ado, we're gonna start off with honorable mentions. First up, from Drum Island, actually both the honorable mentions are from Drum Island, is Dalton. Dalton, he came in clutch. You know, he saved his people. He put a good representation on the people of Drum Island. And most of all, I think he was just a well-preserved character. And the way he reacted to his former captain, the big fat guy, whatever the dude's name is, I don't know. But just the way he reacted to him and like rebelled against him was pretty awesome. Another person from Drum Island is Dr. Kureha. Dr. Kureha, there's two reasons why she's in honorable mentions. Number one, she's a really good healer. Like, she's a really good doctor, so she helped Luffy, Sanji, and Nami out when they were climbing up that mountain. And the second reason is she gave us Chopper, you know. One of the most... It's just Chopper. It's Chopper, you know. But yeah, those are my two honorable mentions. And then we're going to kick it off with D on the main tier list here. First off, we got Buggy the Clown. You know, I haven't really gotten to the series yet where he gets pretty interesting. But just the way he is right now is very somewhat annoying. You know, I don't know if I'll put him in C, because the more stuff that there's like less good things and there's more bad things, you know, like there's more bad things than there's good things. So that's why he's in D, because it's just like I don't know where to put him. But another person that I really hate is Arlong. Oh my god, dude. Every time I see this dude on the screen, I just want to like punch him, bro. Like right in the face. This guy's so irritating, bro. He's like one of those kids at school who thinks they're better than everybody. It's just like shut up, my guy. Like, bro. Like, that's alright. We're gonna go to C tier now. C tier. And there's only one person in C tier, because the rest of these characters are pretty decent. C tier is the same initial as the same letter in this person's name, and if you guessed it, it was Crocodile. Crocodile, you know, he's a pretty good villain. He's probably one of what did I say? He's probably one of the first mainstream villains on the Grand Line for One Piece, and just the way they have it built up, not the pacing's but the way they have it built up to where they finally have the battle with Luffy, Crocodile, man, that was just awesome. You know, it was pretty good. I also like Crocodile because his style, like, it just kind of has that like cool touch to it, you know, kind of like Smoker. But yeah, that's why he's in C tier for me. Kicking that off with B tier, we have our first character. Oh no, I'm sorry, our second character from Skypiea, which is Gonfall. Gonfall, man, this guy is dope. You know, the backstory to him was pretty awesome. You know, the way he also saved Luffy in them. If he weren't had to do that, I don't know what would happen with them. Probably they would get like stuck in that like flowed cloud thing, like where they could fall to their death in the ocean. But this is the way this guy comes in clutch, you know, including that one scene with Chopper where he was fighting one of the priests. Man, this guy is respected, well preserved, and that's why he's on my B tier. All right, now here we go. This is the duo, in my opinion, from Alabasta. Kicking it off, we got Kudo. Is that how do I spell it right? Kadu. Yeah, I finally. Yeah. But Kadu, you know, he goes well preserved with another character I'm about to rank right now. But Kadu he's just chill, you know. He's like one of those like should have been on the One Piece crew type characters, and he's just chill. Part of I think it's called the Super Duck Squad. I think it was called. But yeah, he's like a good ally to Vivi, which is the next person I'm ranking. Vivi, you know, she could have also been on the One Piece crew. I think it would have been a nice touch, especially for the future stories. But yeah, A lot of people love this character. I kind of do, but it's just like, it's just like, yeah, she's cool. Kicking it off in A tier, we got Nami. Nami, she's also one of those pretty cool crewmates on the One Piece crew. She helps with navigation, and I think she's just a nice touch to the crew also, just the humor and all that in there. But yeah, I think she's pretty cool. Another good character is Nico Robin. Robin, man. She's pretty cool, she's like one of the most highly intelligent people on the crew. And I think just the flower fruit, that's just a pretty cool touch to her character too. And then we got another really loved character from One Piece. Chopper. Chopper, man. Chopper's Chopper. Just like I always said before. I don't know what other way to explain it, but yeah, Chopper's Chopper, That's why he's an A tier, alright? But he's also a doctor. Yeah, that's another reason. He's a doctor. And he comes in clutch for all these crewmates that he has, But now, this one could be argued for me between S and A tier. But Usopp. Usopp. It's like, he's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool character. I think he has a lot in store for him in the future of One Piece. But I think just as of right now, in the arc that I'm in Skypiea, I think he's there, but he just needs to, contribute to the crew more. But I can see why Luffy picked him on his crew, But that is my A tier right there. Kicking it off, without further ado, is the S tier. Starting it off strong, we got Fire Fist Ace. Man, did this guy also come in clutch. Just the way he held back Smoker in the first part of Alabasta was pretty dope. And another way that I was pretty shocked that Luffy had a brother. I actually didn't know that when I first started watching One Piece. It wasn't really a spoiler that came to me. But that is my first S tier right there. Up next in the S tier, we got the one, the only, and his skills are in a dynamic duo. Sanji. Man, being a cook and a fighter is just a dangerous combo, But Sanji, I think he's one of the most preserved on the crew in fighting terms. And just battle IQ in general. I don't know about his actual IQ in general, besides cooking. He's just as soon as he sees a girl, he just folds. But other than that, Sanji, he's a pretty good character, But, man, if there was another tier on this list, I would definitely put this character, actually these next two characters, in a higher tier list. But these two will never let go of each other. And if you know who I'm talking about, one of the most best One Piece characters, this might be glazed, but one of the most best characters of One Piece of all time, and probably will be for the rest of eternity, is Zoro. Zoro! My goodness, is he just... I can't even explain it. I don't have words for it. He's just man. He's just so cool. But it's just the loyalty towards Luffy, and just the way that they never give up on each other. Just perfect touch, But to end off this tier list, what is One Piece? What is One Piece? What is the whole entire 1,100 and whatever, or even more, mangas and episodes without this one character? The one who will be Pirate King and will find the One Piece and gain his ultimate freedom. Monkey D. Luffy. Sheesh. This guy is just, I think, if I had a really long tier list, I think Zoro and Luffy would be at the exact same height in my ranking. Just only because it's just their influence on the viewers and on the story in general is just beyond my comprehension as an emotional and physical impact. Because when I go to my day-to-day things, I always implement things that Zoro or Luffy would do. And it might sound weird and all that, but if you truly watch One Piece, you can understand what I'm talking about and relate. But that's just who I am, you know. But that is my One Piece tier list. Let me know down in the comments if you guys like this. But thank you guys for watching if you did. And I hope you guys have a blessed day or night, wherever you are. And without further ado, bye.